This Saturday, over 1,800 protests are set to explode across every single US state, from New York to California, from Seattle to Miami. The movement behind it, it's called No Kings. And it's not just a protest. It's a message aimed squarely at former President Trump, a massive military parade, and what some are calling an all-out stand against authoritarianism. But here is the twist. These rallies are beginning to merge with a second wave of unrest tied to ICE raids, deportations, and civil rights crackdowns. The result? A weekend that could go from peaceful protest to national chaos. Let me break it all down for you. But before we jump in, hit that like button if you want to stay ahead of breaking national updates just like this. And if you're new, make sure you subscribe. We cover the stories no one else is telling you. Right now, the US is gearing up for a historic wave of protests. Organizers expect over 1,800 demonstrations to take place this Saturday, June 14th, in every state, many in the country's largest cities. This nationwide movement, branded as No Kings, is gaining momentum fast. And the spark that lit the fuse, a $45 million military parade planned in Washington, D.C., celebrating the 250th anniversary of the U.S. Army. Trump is set to headline the event, which also just happens to fall on his 79th birthday. The No Kings movement claims it's pushing back against authoritarianism and celebrating democracy. Here's a quote straight from their site. "In America, we don't do kings. No thrones, no crowns, no kings. They say Trump's desire for tanks in the streets and a TV-ready show of force is a symbolic push toward dictatorship, not patriotism." The site also slams immigration crackdowns and civil rights violations. They defied our courts, deported citizens, silenced dissent, and gutted public services. The name behind the organizing force? It's a national group known as 5501, short for 50 states, 50 protests, one movement. They describe themselves as regular Americans standing for democracy and against centralized power. You might be wondering, why is this blowing up right now? Simple, because this isn't happening in a vacuum. Just this week, we've seen anti-ICE protests erupt in Los Angeles, and they've quickly spread to cities like Chicago, Dallas, San Francisco, New York, and even Washington, D.C. itself. These demonstrations are no longer isolated. They're turning more intense. In Seattle, for example, protests turned destructive just last night. So with No Kings rallies and ICE protests colliding this weekend, law enforcement is sounding the alarm. Here's what you need to watch closely. The merging of movements. While No Kings wasn't originally about immigration, many are now using the platform to also protest ICE operations, deportations, and immigration policy. And the fear is that once these two groups, both large and angry, share the same streets, things could spiral. Remember what happened the last time multiple protest groups converged? What started as peaceful ended in chaos. That's exactly the fear this weekend. The concern is not just about message, it's about momentum and numbers. This year, protests tied to 5501 Haven T just called out Trump. They've also targeted figures like Elon Musk, criticizing his former role in the Department of Government Efficiency, a short-lived agency created to slash public spending. The language used in these rallies is strong. Many are calling for Trump to be dethroned, claiming his actions are more monarchic than democratic. In their view, this isn't just about a parade or ICE. It's about preserving democracy in the face of what they see as creeping authoritarianism. Okay, let's talk about the actual protest map. Every single state is involved. And yes, some states like Nevada might only have a couple of events, but others will be overwhelmed with multiple protests in different cities. Here are just a few examples of protest locations. Montgomery, Alabama, Homer, Alaska, Phoenix, Arizona, Boulder, Colorado, Atlanta, Georgia, Honolulu, Hawaii, Boise, Idaho, Detroit, Michigan, Las Vegas, Nevada, New York, Houston, Texas, Seattle, Washington, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Cheyenne, Wyoming. That's just a small sample. The full list is massive. And remember, these aren't just about no kings anymore. Many of these rallies are drawing in people angry over ICE enforcement, cancelled visas, even concerns around upcoming events like the Club World Cup, where some fear arrests or crackdowns could escalate tension even further. So here's the bottom line. Saturday, June 14th is shaping up to be a major flashpoint. If you're traveling, commuting, or attending events this weekend in any major metro area, be aware. Large crowds, blocked roads, and the potential for unrest are real possibilities. We've seen what happens when peaceful protests cross into unrest. The warning signs are here. The question is, will we listen? Hit that like button if you found this helpful. Subscribe for updates as this story unfolds. We'll keep you informed as it develops. Stay safe out there.